On January 7, 2018, the world of cryptocurrency was stunned by a heist unlike anything anyone could have imagined. A Bitcoin mogul, Michael Terpin, was attending a cryptocurrency conference in Las Vegas. Little did he know that his crypto holdings were under siege by a group of hackers who had launched a sophisticated campaign to infiltrate his accounts. This attack was orchestrated by a 15-year-old mastermind named Ellis Pinsky. This is the story of how a teenager from the suburbs of Westchester County, New York, orchestrated an audacious crime that would go on to become one of the largest SIM-swapping attacks in history. Ellis Pinsky grew up in the picturesque suburb of Irvington, New York, surrounded by manicured lawns, neat houses, and neighbors who believed they knew each other. With tree-lined streets and quiet roads, it was a place where crime seemed distant and out of place. Like many teenagers in his community, Ellis loved sports, sneakers, and computer games. At Irvington High School, he was known as a polite, affable student with a bright mind. On the surface, no one would have suspected that this seemingly normal boy was about to orchestrate one of the most audacious cryptocurrency heists of modern times. From a young age, Ellis displayed a profound interest in technology. He would spend hours exploring online forums and teaching himself how websites worked, occasionally dabbling in basic coding projects. His fascination intensified when an anonymous gamer threatened to reveal Ellis's location, prompting him to investigate tools like Wireshark. Through these seemingly harmless investigations, he realized he could pinpoint the approximate location of unsuspecting people simply by analyzing network traffic. Rather than feeling unnerved, he was exhilarated by the possibility of wielding such digital power. Over time, curiosity merged with skill, setting him forward without restraint. Beneath his polite demeanor at school, Ellis delved further into the world of hacking. A teenager named Furno became his informal mentor, guiding him through hidden forums where stolen data, social engineering tutorials, and hacking triumphs were openly discussed. These lessons introduced Ellis to concepts like ISP doxing, where imposters pose as internet service providers' technicians to trick employees into providing sensitive customer information. Before long, he realized that stealing user credentials or addresses was not merely theoretical. It became a means of power and profit, blurring the line between intellectual challenge and outright criminal activity. He wanted more excitement. Through his new connections, Ellis discovered a site called OG Users, an underground forum dedicated to acquiring and trading so-called OG handles. These short, original usernames on social media platforms were treated like trophies or high-value collectibles. Some could fetch thousands of dollars on the black market. Initially, Ellis was drawn to the thrill of stealing these prized usernames, delighting in how quickly he could hijack them through coordinated SIM swapping attacks. In mere minutes, he learned to impersonate phone owners, sweet talk, or bribe carrier employees, and redirect verification codes. It was a game, but a profitable one. He craved escalation. He spent late nights immersed in adrenaline-fueled group calls, forging alliances with older hackers who praised his ingenuity. While his classmates worried about grades and after-school sports, Ellis strategized digital conquests. Eventually, someone mentioned an even greater prize: well-known figures in the burgeoning cryptocurrency world. Rumors circulated about investors holding massive sums in online wallets protected only by two-factor authentication, which could be circumvented via SIM swapping. Ellis's eyes widened at the prospect of seizing millions with just a few clever phone calls. It was the next logical step for a teenager already flirting with the boundaries of law. Indeed. By early 2018, Ellis and his online associates had a singular name in their crosshairs: Michael Terpin. A prominent cryptocurrency entrepreneur, Terpin was rumored to hold millions in various digital tokens. Specifically, he favored storing them in private wallets rather than trusting exchanges. With a potent combination of social engineering, insider connections, and code-based cunning, Ellis believed he could commandeer Terpin's phone number. Once that phone number was under their control, resetting email passwords and uncovering wallet keys would be straightforward. Late one evening, Ellis composed the final instructions for a rogue contact at AT&T, setting the plan in motion. Terpin's phone went dead, leaving him puzzled. Unaware of the swift infiltration underway, he attempted to troubleshoot the issue with AT&T. Meanwhile, Ellis received confirmation that the SIM swap succeeded. He wasted no time sending password reset emails to Terpin's accounts. Each verification code, intended for Terpin's rightful device, landed in Ellis's possession instead. At first, the hackers found only scraps of personal data, but then they stumbled upon another email address. A file named Keys caught Ellis's eye. Inside lay a treasure trove of private keys for multiple cryptocurrency wallets, with one holding an astonishing $24 million. He felt euphoric. Within hours, Ellis and his collaborators frantically moved Terpin's funds into numerous accounts they controlled. They exchanged tokens on Binance, using half a dozen accomplices' accounts to bypass daily withdrawal limits. Each ally took a small share of the loot, typically between $20,000 and $50,000, for their help in laundering. The bulk of the stolen cryptocurrency, though, flowed back to Ellis and an associate known simply as Harry. Once the dust settled, they estimated that they had successfully siphoned off $23.8 million in digital assets. For a 15-year-old, it was an unthinkable fortune beyond any adolescent dream. Unbelievable. Most students in Ellis's grade were planning for midterms or wondering how to afford a used car when they turned 16. Ellis, by contrast, stared at his screen in awe, counting the skyrocketing digits of digital wealth. His transformation from small-time handle thief to major league crypto bandit happened almost too easily. Unsure how to spend it, he indulged in purchasing an expensive watch rumored to be a Patek Philippe. He also withdrew a sizable amount of cash and hid it in his bedroom. Yet even with these splurges, he remained cautious, understanding that a misstep could expose everything, entirely. Yet Ellis could not keep his secret forever. He broadened his spending, renting luxury cars, buying Supreme and Louis Vuitton attire, and even treating friends to private jet excursions. Classmates began to notice inconsistencies. How could a high school sophomore afford such luxuries? The official explanation was that he had parlayed early Bitcoin investments into a windfall, a story that seemed plausible enough in 2018's crypto frenzy. Even so, whispers circulated about something deeper. Some acquaintances were unnerved by Ellis's mercurial temper. He would threaten those who crossed him, sending anonymous texts and veiled warnings designed to instill fear and caution. One peer alleged that after accidentally letting strangers join their private chat room, Ellis grew enraged and threatened violence against the boy and his mother. Others recollected menacing messages from unfamiliar phone numbers that vanished as quickly as they appeared. Despite these ominous signs, Ellis maintained a veneer of normalcy at Irvington High. He attended soccer practice and rubbed shoulders with classmates who had no inkling of his exploits. At home, his parents remained unaware of the scale of his digital dealings, believing he was an adept gamer dabbling in cryptocurrency. That misapprehension allowed Ellis's operation to continue unfettered for months. Meanwhile, Michael Terpin fumed over his vanished millions and demanded answers from AT&T. He insisted that the carrier's negligence allowed the SIM swap to succeed. Investigations soon revealed that the infiltration was not an isolated incident. Other cases of SIM swaps had emerged nationwide. Though law enforcement became involved, the digital footprint led to numerous suspects scattered across the United States and Europe. Slowly, names began to surface. One was Nick Truglia, a Manhattan 20-year-old who flaunted his wealth and boasted about stealing crypto. Another, far more surprising, was Ellis Pinsky, just a high school sophomore. The puzzle pieces converged. Truglia's arrest in November 2018 accelerated the unmasking of Ellis. Investigators uncovered incriminating iCloud backups and text messages indicating that multiple individuals had conspired in the Terpin hack. While Truglia flaunted his exploits on social media, Ellis had tried to remain discreet. Yet his name kept surfacing in recorded conversations and chat logs. Feeling the heat, Ellis allegedly returned part of the stolen fortune, cryptocurrency, a watch, and cash, worth roughly $2 million at the time. This gesture, some speculated, was meant to appease Michael Terpin or limit further legal consequences. Nonetheless, Terpin pursued justice with relentless determination. He demanded accountability. As Terpin's lawyer gathered evidence, Ellis's mother received an alarming phone call. She was informed that her son stood accused of spearheading a multi-million-dollar heist. Panicked, she hired a lawyer to shield Ellis. Though he faced no immediate criminal charges, law enforcement struggled with the fact that Ellis was a minor. Terpin would later file a civil lawsuit seeking $71 million, triple what was stolen. The justification lay in federal anti-racketeering laws. If proven, Ellis's actions could be construed as organized crime. Regardless of Ellis's age, Terpin refused to let a teenage hacker walk away unpunished. He sought serious retribution. Absolutely. Rumors circulated that Ellis's parents were perplexed by his sudden wealth. They questioned his stories of profiting from cryptocurrency trades and ephemeral video game tournaments. Meanwhile, Ellis's final year of high school turned turbulent. 4 masked individuals reportedly attempted a break-in at his home, likely searching for hidden caches of stolen funds. This near tragedy underscored the dangers of mixing adolescent bravado with real-world crime. Though Ellis evaded criminal indictment, the cloud of suspicion lingered. He was quickly dubbed Baby Al Capone by those who relished comparing his cunning to that of infamous gangsters. The label stuck, fueling intrigue. He felt cornered. Over the coming months, Ellis attempted to return to a semblance of normal. He graduated from Irvington High and enrolled at New York University, reportedly majoring in computer science and philosophy. It appeared he was trying to channel his technical skill into legitimate pursuits. Some believed he sought redemption by using his insider knowledge to protect systems from similar hacks. Terpin, however, remained resolute in his pursuit of damages. He insisted that justice could not hinge on Ellis's youth alone. The lawsuit advanced, threatening to extract millions and label Ellis permanently as a cybercriminal figurehead of unprecedented audacity. He persevered. Ellis's attorney argued that he had merely been a child acting under undue influence from older hackers. Nonetheless, the evidence of his direct involvement in the hack, from orchestrating the SIM swap to distributing stolen cryptocurrency, proved difficult to refute. Phone logs, chat transcripts, and the swift return of valuable items seemed to confirm his central role. While some championed the notion that Ellis deserved a second chance, others saw him as a callous manipulator who relished exercising control. No one doubted his intelligence, yet many questioned whether that brilliance had permanently strayed into a moral gray zone and darkness. Years later, Ellis continued to provoke discussion among cybersecurity enthusiasts. Some cited him as an example of prodigious skill gone wrong, a cautionary tale highlighting how easily a curious mind could wander into illicit territory. Others pointed to the weaknesses in corporate security protocols, specifically how a giant telecom like AT&T could be manipulated by a teenage caller. Regardless, the legend grew. A suburban high school student who allegedly masterminded one of the largest single-actor SIM swap heists in history. As time passed, fresh details surfaced about laundered funds, high-end purchases, and quiet attempts at restitution. He remained shrouded partially. Still, even without formal criminal charges, Ellis's reputation was cemented. Some believed his hack was just the tip of an iceberg, suspecting he had compromised other high-value targets. However, official records focused on the notorious Terpin case, painting Ellis as the primary architect. Critics blasted the legal system for its perceived leniency, questioning why a minor could elude prosecution after orchestrating a multi-million-dollar crime. Supporters, though, insisted that Ellis had shown remorse, even returning a share of the loot and aiming to reform by studying cybersecurity. This polarized view of Ellis Pinsky only added to his mystique. He remained an enigma. Today, Ellis's story stands as a testament to the power of technology, the vulnerability of corporate security, and the thin line separating teenage experimentation from high-stakes theft. From the outside, he was a quiet sophomore who ran track, played video games, and enjoyed designer sneakers. Beneath the surface, he wielded hacking techniques that dismantled the defenses of a savvy cryptocurrency mogul. Whether one views him as a misguided adolescent or a menacing cybercriminal, his saga embodies the intersection of youth, ambition, and the endless possibilities lurking in the digital age. The legend of Baby Al Capone continues and endures eternally. Thanks for watching.